Hi, good morning. It is Tuesday, July 28th, and we are headed up to Bishop Pass today. We started out of South Lake and had a beautiful hike up to Long Lake. We're going to walk along Long Lake and continue up towards the pass this morning.
Look at this view along Long Lake. Natalie was persistent and was able to get us a couple permits, and actually asked me like the day before, hey, can we make this trip? And she got the permits, and it was perfect timing. Wildflowers are in peak bloom at this elevation. Not much in the way of wind, not much in the way of mosquitoes, and it was just a great trip.
So this is probably our last backpacking trip for the summer season, and this is Long Lake. The elevation for Long Lake is about 10,800 feet.
The trails in this section are not too tricky. We're about to go up some switchbacks, but pretty easy at this point. It gets harder. We ran into a Forest Service person that's doing trail work, but they're also checking permits. She was real nice, and we had a good talk with her, and anyway, we saw her on the way back too.
So this is Saddle Rock Lake. This is where we stopped and had lunch. The elevation for Saddle Rock Lake is 11,128 feet. And basically after this point is when we knew we were going to have an uphill climb as we started our ascent up to Bishop Pass.
Alright, we just stopped for lunch at Saddle Rock Lake, which is about 11,000 feet, and we are about ready to make our final ascent up to Bishop Pass, which is right out in front of us, and we'll be gaining close to 1,000 feet in elevation, so we are looking forward to that. So here we go.
This is Bishop Lake right before we're heading up over the pass.
We're taking a little break on our way up to Bishop Pass, up the Bishop Pass, looking down at Bishop Lakes. And boy, this is just awesome. We've done some awesome hikes in the past. This ranks right up there. They're actually all awesome. We're very fortunate.
Looking up to where the pass is going to be, it's hard to imagine how we're going to get up and over that. Can't imagine all the labor it took to build this trail up and over this giant rock pile.
That mule's a good size.
Even though we were acclimatized, having lived in Mammoth all summer, it still took us a while to get up and over the pass. We had to go slow and take breaks, but we eventually made it up there, and it was spectacular. Here we're looking back onto Bishop Lake and Saddle Rock Lake.
We were very careful walking over this snow. It doesn't look like much, but it'd be easy to perhaps punch through and hurt yourself or slip and fall with the pack. We took it easy.
Yeah, there really wasn't much snow on the trail except for this small little patch.
All right, we made it up Bishop Pass. We're at 11,900 feet or so. And here's the official sign telling us we made it. Here's a little notice sign. Dusy Basin is closed to wood fires due to diminishing wood supply from this point on for the next 4.5 miles. If you take a look around, sure enough, the wood supply has diminished significantly.
It was never here.
Once we crested the pass, we left the Inyo National Forest and are now in Kings Canyon National Park.
We just happened to be the only ones up there at that time. I think right before we crested, we had saw a couple walking, but other than that, we were the only ones up there at the time. So we took our packs off and rested for a little bit, had a little snack, I think. And I think from here we were looking at just another 1.5 miles to our campground for the evening. So now we're headed down into Dusy Basin.
We have found our camp spot for our first night here at the first Dusy Lake, and we found just a really great spot. And so we're super excited about setting up camp here. We're gonna go ahead and unpack our bags. We'll set our tent right out in this area here, and you can just see the view from where our tent will be. Is not bad at all.
Wow, it feels good to sit back, kick back, relax our backs a little bit after doing about 6.5 miles and climbing, starting at about 9,800 feet, climbing to just under 12,000 feet over Bishop Pass, down here into Dusy Basin, right over by the first Dusy Lake here, under Mount Aziz and Isosceles Peak in the background. Just fabulous views, beautiful temperature, very little wind, very few mosquitoes. It doesn't get much better than this. That's what I have to say. And it's nice doing it with Natalie too.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for you to say.
Yeah.
All right, dinner for me tonight is garlic, green bean, and cashew stir fry. And let's check in with Dad.
Backpacker's Pantry, fettuccine alfredo with chicken.
Let us know how it tastes.
It tastes like lettuce. It's hot and it's tasty. And it's cooked adequately. It's soft.
Good.
Excellent.
We're going to enjoy our dinner. Looking out at our view
This will feed a family of 5.
over Dusy Lake.
It was nice for a change not to be waiting to crawl into the tent because it's so cold. Here we got to enjoy the sunset and the moonrise from a beautiful vantage point without a lot of wind or cold temps. Unbelievable quietness out here. Not a sound.
Good morning. We had a pretty good first night at our camp spot here at Dusy Lake, and we are headed off this morning just to do some day hiking. So we've left our camp spot, kind of packed everything up. You can kind of see it back there. I'll show you. It's hard to see our tent back there, but it's right up in there. We put the rain fly on it during the day to kind of conceal it a little bit more.
It blends in pretty well.
It does blend in pretty well. So we are headed out. We're going to see if we can find the other Dusy Lakes and probably go to a lookout over LeConte Canyon and just enjoy the beautiful day.
The hike to the next lake was just over the ridge, but that's still a lot of work, even a small ridge in these conditions.
Yeah, we were doing cross-countrying, so there wasn't really trails to get to these lakes in the basin. So that made it a little bit more challenging, but man, it was just so beautiful back in there, and I don't think we saw any people, did we?
We saw no people back exploring these other lakes. There's even another lake on beyond us we didn't make it to from that last scene.
So the Dusy Basin, the lakes there are about at 11,300 feet. So we hiked around the basin before we dropped down later that afternoon to go to LeConte Canyon overlook.
Actually, we had wanted to take a shortcut. Looks like it was doable on the topo map, but we couldn't find our way down the steep slopes, so we had to backtrack all the way up to our camp before heading down to LeConte.
This is a California Cooperative Snow Survey's automatic snow sensor. During the winter, the instrument on this site measures the water content of the snow from which forecasts your future water supply are made. And I mentioned the snow pillows over here on the side. But it also is catching wind speed and direction. I'm sure temperature and relative humidity also. Sends it back out either via radio link or satellite. It's got its own solar cell. We are continuing down Bishop Pass Trail towards LeConte Canyon. Finally getting down into different vegetation type, a lot more lush. We are right above timberline, or right at timberline up above. Shade has been hard to come by, and it's a pretty welcome commodity. We got to come back up. I got a whole new appreciation for people that hike over the Bishop Pass to resupply from the JMT.
So this is the overlook down the LeConte Canyon. That's looking down to the JMT and the PCT, and it was just spectacularly beautiful.
Relaxing after a 7.5 mile day.
Not 8.
Almost 8 mile day. A lot of cross countrying, and then dropped down to LeConte Canyon overlook. So we definitely got our workout in for the day, but it was a beautiful basin. The Dusy Basin up here is just beautiful. And so we're just relaxing this evening, getting dinner ready. We both went into the lake and swam and kind of got cleaned up a little bit, and yeah, we're just enjoying our evening here.
That's tasty. Got some fire.
We got up about 6 o'clock this morning and watched the sunrise over the mountains behind us.
Drinking our coffee on top of a rock.
We even heard some coyotes off in the distance.
We're all packed up this morning and headed out up over Bishop Pass to our trailhead back at South Lake. Alright, there's the pass. We've been going for maybe 3/4 of a mile. We're going to make it up to almost 12,000 feet. We started at our lake, which you can't see, but it's down kind of on the other side there, and that was 11,300. So we got about 700 feet this morning to climb in about a mile to get up to the pass. So we're trekking along. It's kind of hot, the sun's out, but we'll make it there pretty fast, and then it's all downhill from there.
Heard that before. Just up this little bit.
I had it in my mind I was going to make it to 12,000 feet, so I climbed up a little higher than the pass Ended up making it up to 12,029
12,000
feet
no problem.
when all was said and done.
I didn't feel the need to do that, so I sat at the pass and watched him go up that extra 30 feet.
She said, "No thanks, I'll pass." Getting ready to cross over into the Inyo National Forest on our way east and down the pass on the east side.
So this time there were more people out on the trail, especially up on the pass, just because we had started out earlier that day and there was just a little bit more traffic going over the pass, but
We came across several JMTers coming out on a resupply from John Muir Trail. They hike up over Bishop Pass and catch a ride down to Bishop.
So here's a bunch of deer carcasses right here, and at the trailhead I heard somebody saying something that there was, a bunch of deer fell and were killed. I don't think it had to do with the rock slide, but I mean, here's their carcasses. You can see them all right there. Yeah.
Your graveyard. Wow.
Well, we totally missed this on our way up.
Coming back down to the Bishop Lakes.
even though we had seen all this before because we had hiked up there 2 days earlier, just when you're turning around and going, looking at it from a different way, it's almost like you see it anew, and we had to stop and take pictures even on the way down. Just such beautiful scenery.
Yeah, we thought we maybe wouldn't take so many pictures coming back, but it was hard not to. Look at that.
Okay, so see the sign that says no overnight parking beyond this point? Well, about 2.5 miles down the road, that's where that sign was when we came up here a couple days ago. So we're parked 2.5 miles down the road. We really got lucky and got a construction worker guy to take us to the trailhead. Now we're done with the trail, we're headed back down, and we're hoping to get just as lucky because it's hot. So we'll see how far we have to go. Got a ride in a car.
We lucky or good?